Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's video October session. Where to start? So interesting month because as you guys have slowly fed me money, I've been doing some experimentation, but as that money has now come to a stop, and October was like a month of real time stuff. Like no one was giving any money. All the money that's been invested, that's what we have. And basically, I needed to adjust things to make sure that the wheels still turned in the business, which included going down from using amps that were too big, providing too much of, I guess, one resource. So I'll give you an example. Say I went out and mined somewhere looking for something and I got a heap of calderite because I was using big amps. The problem is we put that calderite through a tool blueprint, because I have been slowly leveling tool blueprints to get the tool skills up. But the problem is with big amps, you get a big heap. If it's a bad run, it's a bad run. Like it's negative 500 pet or something. Dropping down in amp size and realizing the balance, trying to get the balance of not getting too much of one material, but still getting a good flow of materials into the business to be able to make everything work. And when I say make everything work, mine up enough in a run, or at least 2 runs, to sell stacks of rarer materials like dianthus, get good chunks of Belcar in my Amathera area there, and then moving to another area and having a complete different setup, because Mindark has got different mining setups. It's fantastic. It's genius, but that's what they've done, and I'm adapting to that. But the good thing about it is, the exciting part about this month is, this month was a scary month for me because I had what I had and I needed to make it work. And I suppose up till now, I didn't even know if it was possible, but it worked. This month, I made 6,012 PED after MU outlay. And the beginning of the month started funny. Now, gun sales are always prevalent, amp sales are prevalent. Not recycle blueprints. Well, there's a sale there that I do at the beginning of every month. Blueprints for guns and amps are going up. Now, as you all know, Blazar's gone up in price because of the component widget crafting. A lot of people still don't know. I see them talking in Rookie all the time, asking what they're used for, but they don't know that they're used en masse in component widgets 4 to 8. And that is going to slowly still chew up the Blazar stocks. I know some people have probably still got 100 or 200,000 of them in their bank. They're slowly getting rid of them for a good markup, but eventually all that resource will dry up. And now with the new RDI instances, I have heard that sometimes the loot in the RDI instance, and this may change over time, we don't know, but sometimes the loot contains Blazar fragments. So the high-end people are able to go in and do their high-end dungeons and also feed themselves Blazar. Now, it's not every time. It's a sporadic thing. Sometimes they loot it, sometimes they don't. So they can't go and farm the dungeons and Blazar all the time. But that, if any of you want to know why Blazars have started to drop in price, that's because they've done that. Whether that's going to stay as a feature or get removed later on, we don't know. So, like I said, exciting month. So, all the way through last month and probably the month before, I was doing 2 things. I'd go for a 500 drop mining run with level 5 amps and a DSEC finder. And this would roughly be around 3,600 PED, give or take, with the repairs and all that sort of stuff. Look, some of them runs were okay. Some of them runs are even fantastic. But I tell you what, when you lose on those runs, it's 1,000 PED. They don't stuff around when they take money. And I've noticed something about Mindark. When they take money from something, or they take money from a crafting run that you've done, you don't get it back. You get a little bit of it back, but that's them dipping their hand in. And I've noticed this over the 10 months, 11 months, 10 months that I've been doing this. When Mindark dips their hand in, they dip it in for good and they leave a couple of scraps for you. So it's up to you to constantly fight that hand dip in. And it's not all the time. Like most of the time you'll be hunting and mining or carrying on and you go, oh, this isn't too bad. But then one day you'll log in and your return will be abysmal, and you go, wow, what happened? What happened? That's them dipping their hand in. So just be aware of that. I've noticed it. I'm pretty sure other people notice it. We can't do anything about it. All we can do is, I guess, what I'm doing now is minimizing the hand dipping risk by not having big, expensive, long runs of stuff, and making it more, I suppose, making it more not big chunks, smaller chunks at a time. It's the best way I can explain it. Anyway, we had lots of mining stuff sales, lots of amp sales, lots of gun sales, yada yada, like what we always do. We managed to turn over 60,888 PED in the auction house last month. We forked out 2,500 PED of MU to other people, and we raked in 6,012 PED MU to us. And as you can see, I made a large amount of trades. We saw metal mountings go down to about 113%. I don't know what people are thinking, to be honest. Belcar, towards the end of the month before Mayhem, shot up to 125%. I was selling it. The reason I am selling Belcar is I've got 1,000 PED of standard plates already made in the bank. I'm now selling mountings for good prices. Ladies doing some weapon grip farming for me. If anyone ever wants to farm weapon grips, I'll be happy to buy them at a reasonable price. I've still got to make sure we make money for the business. But yeah, just scrolling through here, while I'm scrolling through, you can see the LR45 sales, basic sheet metal, but look, mainly ore, lots of ore sales, and then I'll do a big spat of weapon grips, and then weapon grips, and then, I'll craft again, sell, craft. I've already started the next month's sheet. As you can see, I've done a fair whack of sales already. I sold an EP2 recycled blueprint, which wasn't as hefty as the 4. I've got a 4 on the auction house, 41 clicks from last month. I'm not saying I'm going to get 41 clicks again this month because I'm crafting less standard plate because I've got a backup of it. But it doesn't really matter because we've got this thing going. So as you can see, I've started to sell LR45s for 120. Shit, man, I sold one today for 125%. There was just no guns in the auction house. I've got to watch it constantly to make sure I've got the product on there. People don't seem to mind to pay the extra money on the guns because they want a gun and there's no other ones there. So good for us, not so good for the hunter. Belcar prices have settled back down to around about 116. I sold some here for 118% recently. One thing I want to point out is if Mindark ever watches my videos, and you always wonder, how much does it cost to play this game? This is the eternal question we all have. How much does it cost to play this fucking game? None of us know. But I tell you one thing, someone like me doing what I'm doing, and I've done this, I paid 734 PED and 94 PEC just in auction fees this last month. That's 73 USD. How much more do they fucking want to play this game? I honestly believe that the whole percentage taking is not good enough. It needs to be better than that. You want players to have a high turnover of stuff and do lots of things, but then you tax the shit out of us all the time. And then you do the hand dipping. That's why it's really hard for anyone to get anywhere, because they're doing this all the time, man. And whatever their finances say on the internet, that's bullshit. I ran a business for 25 years, and it's very easy to make your expenses almost the same as your income. You just add a few wages and a couple of office purchases, and you can get it to look good for the, So don't worry about that. All I know is I've got the data here, and they are dipping in. It's like I'm paying them to work for them, and it's quite, I'd say, disgusting. But I'm not going to say anything till the end of the year, because they've got till the end of December to prove me wrong and show me that they're not charging me $10,000 a year to play the game. Because at the moment, that's what it's looking like. And I'm having to work 8 to 10 hours a day just to stay afloat. So not good enough. Okay, so that's the sales section. Let's scoot over to the mining. We are now at 358,927 PED cycled in mining. The return is sitting at 93.01%. I've got to say, ever since I've dropped the mining back, so basically what we're mining with now is DSEC 30, which is pretty much standard what a lot of people use. It's a very common finder for people with higher skills. And level 2 or level 1 amps. I still get averages, modest, amples, mediums, a lot. So it's the best. And the amps, I can just pump them out myself because I've got the skills. I mostly have the residue. I had to do an EP craft yesterday because I had no residue left and I had this big gun demand. And I wasn't going to buy the residue because we still need to get the skills up on the character. And, well, that EP craft was okay, so no problem. Now, one thing I have never shown you guys on the video is this page. This page is the residue craft page, right? Now, I'm just going to explain this page to you. I can't make spreadsheets for every single little thing I craft. I'd be here all night, every night, making a new spreadsheet every time I got a new blueprint. So what I do is, I've got my regular things that I craft. And then everything else that I craft, and I call them residue crafts and dailies, all get shoved into this page. Now, you think 335,000 USD is a lot to cycle in mining for a year? I've almost cycled the same amount just in this one page. We're up to 301,000 PED. So that's another $30,000. Now, they're at 90.49%. I'm not very happy with that. The return, look, after the auction fees we pay and the amount of time we have to invest in, and don't forget, every time I sell something, they get a cut of it every time. I think that 90% should be more like 97% because how many times, man, do you want to dip in? They dip in when we mine, 7%. They dip in when we craft, however much the hell they want. And then when we go to sell the thing that we made right at the end, they dip in there too with auction fees. I don't know, man. Look, it's a lot of dipping is all I'm saying. There's a fair whack of money taking happening on their end and not so much giving back when it comes to percentages. And, the whole 50,000 PED thing doesn't ring true, man. That's 300,000 PED and you have a 90% hit rate, and that's bullshit. Let's go to a couple of other pages, shall we then, if you don't like that page. Let's go to our conductors page. 20,000 PED spent, 80% return. The lowest freaking blueprint anyone can craft. I have it at QR100. I have massive amounts of skills, and this is what they give me for that. But it's only 19,000 PED cycled, so we'll leave them alone on that one. Simple 2 conductors, we did craft some this month. We're up to 22,000 PED on that one. They are at 83% return. So between that and the simple ones, we have almost spent the 50,000, and we are abysmally low on the percent return. So I don't know what they got against me when I craft this stuff. I need it to make all my things. I'm not going to go buy it because I can craft it. I buy the muscle oil and the oil off other players. What more do they really want out of me? But anyway, then we go down to the metal mountings page. I'm only up to 19,000 here, but 90% return. Whatever. That's not even the page that upsets me. The page that upsets me is this one. Come on, guys. If you're watching this, if you ever watch this, really, 57,000 PED, 85% return. We can't milk the MU out of the players to cover that amount of money. You've charged me 848 USD this year just to craft this one product. And then you're dipping your hand in with the auction fees, and then you're dipping your hand in whenever you feel like, I don't know. It's annoying. It frustrates me. I need to tell you guys, because don't ever get upset if they're dipping their hand in. If you can feel it happening, if you've got any inkling, the best thing you can do is just don't spend too much in one session. If the hunting's going good, well then keep hunting, man. But if they're raping you, don't go loading in another $50 deposit. Just, might just leave this game alone for today and log in tomorrow and see what happens, Let somebody else pay. What else do we craft? Super alloy mountings. We're up to 31,000 PED. 82.55% return. Come on, guys. Really? So, durable hood, which we need to craft the super alloy mountings. 24,000 PED spent. 88% return. You can see what I'm getting at here. They are, if I want to craft components, they are raping me on component crafting. But then I go to craft guns. I mean, LR45s. We have 30,000 ped spent, 92% return. Well, LR40s, 50,000 ped spent, 52,000 ped, 97% return. Now look at that. That is exactly sitting on 97%. Now, why can't that ring true for every other product in the game? Why does it only ring true for this one? By the time we get to here, we've already lost shitloads of ped down the track. They're just lucky that I'm selling things like when you go to the selling page, like, you know, you look down my percentage list of what I actually sell things for. I've got a lot of 133s. You know, I rarely sell anything under 110, but I've got them sales there. Every pet counts, of course. But look, Super Alloy Mounting is 167%. They don't sell all the time. You can't chuck them in the auction house and they sell that day. Sometimes they take 4 days to sell. So all you can do is make sure there's always one stack there. I try to not undercut other people. I do if the stack size is abnormal and I've got to sort of wriggle it in there somewhere. I try to match the lowest price on the Super Alloy Mounting. Same with the guns. I try to match price with the lowest cost gun. I've got some LR45s in there for 125% at the moment. I know they won't move fast, but they are selling. I sold one today. I'll probably sell another one. You know, I might have to drop them down to 120%, but yeah, you got to sell things for good markup when the opportunity's there. That's for sure. They've stopped giving me as many recycle blueprints, probably because they watched the last video and said, "Oh, we better back that off. Can't have him earning money on that." So I've got on the auction house now an EP4 41 clicks, an EP3 15 clicks, EP2 85 clicks. I split that and put it into 50. That sold. But yeah, look, I've got to keep mining. If any of you guys ever want to go out and mine fire root pellet in the PvP areas for me and sell it to me for a lot less than what I'm paying for it, that'd be appreciated. But look, apart from that, it's a part of the cost. So as you can see here, I was buying level 5 amps in stacks of 10. I was buying them off Mezzy. D-class amp stacks of 10. You know, but as you can see, as the list goes down towards through the month, the purchasing of those things eventually fades off. And there we go there, fire root pellet. I'm paying 273% for fire root pellet. Now don't get me wrong, 182 fire root pellets, I can click a lot of guns. But I'm estimating probably, that's a 90 clicks, I might get 45 guns. So 90, so 2 pet a gun basically. 2 pet out of each gun sale goes to just fire root pellets. You know, this is a thing I'm not very happy with Mindark putting that into the PvP area. You can go to Monria and mine it, but I'm not going to Monria. Oh my god, talk about dipping your hand in. Woohoo! They mining in Monria is bad shit. So yeah, I have everyone's payouts who hasn't got them yet. People that are rolling can roll and come and see me on the 5th. Please give me till the 5th. I've just used all my capital to really load the auction house up. I can get it together if you need it before the 5th, but I would appreciate it if you did wait till the 5th to come and get your money off me. People coming to get it earlier is fine. I've got the money anyway. I'll just sort of like, I can sit there with the money and not go mining, or I can go mining and not worry about it, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Alright, I think I have rambled long enough. Wow, I don't even know how long that video went for. 20 minutes. Jesus. Alright, I better go. See you next time. Don't worry too much. This is good. Things have gone good. Let's see how next month go. Let's see how they treat us next month, if we can continue this system. And that will be exciting if we can. And I'm looking forward to making that video. Alright, see you later.